Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV in conjunction with Colfax High School presents Viking pregame. A look at today's Colfax Vikings boys game. And now, Viking pregame.
Good evening and welcome to the NLWN-TV studios. Rick Olson here, and tonight the Colfax Vikings are trying to bounce back following their 81-35 defeat at the hands of the Bloomer Blackhawks last Thursday. Likewise, the Glenwood City Hilltoppers are also looking to bounce back following their 61-48 loss to Grantsburg 1 week ago. Now, coming up in this edition of Viking pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup between the Glenwood City Hilltoppers and the Colfax Vikings. Then we'll get Coach Noel's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. Following that, Ethan Bartles and I will bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game. So it's time to get ready for some exciting high school boys basketball. That's all coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to Viking pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
Welcome back to Viking pregame, where we're getting ready to bring you all the action of tonight's boys basketball game between the Glenwood City Hilltoppers and the Colfax Vikings. The Vikings are looking to get their Dunn St. Croix Conference play started on the right foot, while also looking to get back on the winning track following last Thursday's loss to the Bloomer Blackhawks 81-35. In that loss to Bloomer, the Vikings were led in scoring by 6'3" junior Jack Charlo, who put up 13 points. Charlo was followed by Bryce Sikora and Elijah Ensminger, who each added 8 points. Thus far on the season, the Vikings are led in scoring by Charlo, who's averaging nearly 15 points per game. He's followed by Sikora, who's putting up nearly 10 points per game. Ensminger adds another 7 points per game, while Ryan Albright and Tristan Lenz follow with 6 and 5 points respectively. Lenz and Charlo are the Vikings' leading rebounders thus far this season. Now, unfortunately, we don't have any current statistics for the Hilltoppers, but when we look at the players returning from last season, we find that the Hilltoppers are led by 6'1" senior Drew Olson. Now, last season, he averaged nearly 9 points per game with a season high of 24 against Boyceville. In addition, look for 6'1" senior Owen Swenby and 5'10" senior Brady McCarthy to be major contributors, as last season each contributed around 5 points per game. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get Coach Noel's perspective as we chat with Mark Noel on Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Hi there, Russell here. I'm one of Santa's elves. In fact, I'm pretty sure I'm his chief elf when it comes to making deliveries on Christmas Eve. It's a busy time here at the North Pole. We elves are pretty good at assembling things. That's why the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV asked me to assemble their Christmas gift to you. So here's what I've come up with. We're all going on a ride with Santa on Christmas Eve. Not his whole trip, but part of it. And I have the in-flight entertainment all lined up. So join me, Santa, and the Northern Light Webcasting Network along with NLWN-TV on Christmas Eve beginning at 7 p.m.
You're tuned to the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. We use advertising revenue to make this service available to you. If you have a business and would like to get your message out to our ever-increasing audience, give us a call at 715-563-1749. We will be happy to discuss our budget-friendly advertising packages with you. Get your business noticed on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV by calling 715-563-1749.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, where they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Today on Coach's Corner, we're talking with Viking Boys head coach Mark Knoll. And Coach, last Thursday, the Vikings took one on the chin at the hands of the Bloomer Blackhawks, 81-35. Can you fill us in on that game?
Sure. Well, obviously, it was Bloomer's first game, our second game. You know, I know of a few of their players, but obviously they're moving into a new conference this year. They're in the conference Clover Belt this year, which I believe that they will win the Clover Belt Conference this year. They have a very strong team. They've got the full package. They've got great size and good size in their guards as well. They've got kids inside that are like 6'6", 320. Another kid 6'5", 6'4", a couple 6'3s, and then 6'1 guard. So that was a tough game. Plus not knowing exactly what they were going to do defensively. And they came out in a zone that really affected us, and we didn't adjust well to it as either.
You know, sometimes early in the season, a team give you a Jekyll and Hyde performance, with last Thursday being the not quite so pretty Mr. Hyde version. But it appears as though you have three players that seem to have stepped up. I'm thinking of Jack Charlo, Bryce Sikora, Elijah Ensminger. And with these three, you have a combination of size, speed, and athleticism such that they seem to make a good core to build a team around. Your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I mean, overall, I think we do have a good core, and I think that what you're going to see from the Vikings this year is a team that's going to consistently grow throughout the year. And yes, we're going to have a little waves. We're going to have a little ups and downs a little bit. But overall, I think it's a team that's really going to grow and come together. And a lot of that stems back to the kids really enjoying to be around each other, working hard. And I love this group of kids. You know, we're just lacking experience right now. But each game that we play, we're going to gain that experience. And I think as the year goes on, you'll see a team that becomes really good.
Now tonight, the Vikings are going to open their Dun St. Croix Conference schedule by taking on the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. What can you tell us about the Hilltoppers, and what special challenges do they present?
I mean, obviously it's game one in the Dun St. Croix, and it's on the road. So those are challenges right there in itself. They have a new coach. This will be game 2 for them. This is game 3 for us. So I'm sure they're still trying to figure out, you know, their identity, what they're about, those kinds of things. I'm sure they're going to throw some different wrinkles at us as well, just because it's such an early game in the season. And then, you know, they graduated some key players just like we did last year. So it's going to be a matter of who steps up.
Now, it appears from the information that I've been able to gather, and that's pretty sparse right now, that Drew Olson and Owen Swenby are the two threats that the Hilltoppers really present. What do the Vikings need to do to keep those two in check?
I think overall we just got to play great team defense. We've got to be able to make the adjustments throughout the game, whatever they are. And I'm a coach that really believes in, you know, taking it at the other team's best players. That's how you get them into foul trouble. And when you can't play very well if you're sitting on the bench. So we're always going to be an aggressive team.
Right, and you don't want to put too much focus on any one or two players, because about the time you do that, somebody else is going to come around and slap you up the backside of the head or something and get a really hot night or something. So you've got to stick with your game plan. Well, Coach,
good luck. That's what we're going to try to do.
Okay, good luck on tonight's game, and hopefully the Vikings will get back on the winning track and open the conference schedule on the right foot.
Thank you very much. Go Vikings. Thank you, Rick.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, where they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Meet the Scam. a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you!
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame. The Vikings are looking to begin their 2021-2022 Dun St. Croix season in winning style. Now, on the other hand, the Glenwood City Hilltoppers would like to get on the winning track following their 61-48 loss to Grantsburg. So, the stage is set for some exciting high school boys basketball. And we'll have all the action for you right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Now, in just a moment, we'll send it out to Glenwood City High School, where Ethan Bartles and I are getting ready to bring you all the action of tonight's conference opening boys basketball game between the Colfax Vikings and the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. That's all coming up next. You've been tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
We scored? Yeah, we scored going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Wait, why does my face look like that? I'm playing with these new face filters. Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine. I'm gonna need that back. No. Kevin!
You've been tuned to Viking Pregame with a look at today's Colfax Vikings boys game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Colfax Viking basketball. It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Sladen's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Sladen's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Sladen's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Sladen's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Sladen's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Colfax Viking basketball is on the air.
Lenz with the rebound puts it up and in. Christian Lenz gets the putback shot.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV proudly presents tonight's Colfax Viking Boys varsity basketball game.
And it's no good. Rebound taken down and put up and in. Ryan Albright with the rebound.
Join us as we head out to the gym for tonight's Viking basketball.
Inside, gets it off to Hoffman. Hoffman feeds underneath. The shot goes up and in by Nathan Hajdukovic.
Yeah, good cut there by Nate.
And welcome to Glenwood City High School. Rick Olson here, along with, we have a surprise color commentator, at least one we weren't planning on tonight. Drew Gibson is here tonight. Ethan is a little under the weather today, and so we'll give him a night off. But we have one back from his under the weather hood, and that's Dan's on the camera for us tonight. Yeah, there we go. Steady hand always on the camera is Dan. And Drew is down at the scores table trying to line up some starting lineups for us. The junior varsity game ran a little long, so we've got a little extra time to kill here. In that junior varsity game, it was Glenwood City 63 and the Vikings 51. It was actually a pretty close game most of the way through, and then Glenwood City kind of pulled away towards the latter part of the second half. Vikings with a record of 1-1. Glenwood City is 0-1. Both teams stepping into their first game in the Dun St. Croix Conference this season, and both teams hoping to get things started on the right foot. New head coach this year for Glenwood City, so that means a few changes for them. Vikings went through that whole change process last season when Coach Knoll took over the helm. And so this year, the Viking returning players had an idea of how things worked. Speaking of returning players, Glenwood City has a number of them. A couple of leading ones. Drew Olson last season scored 8.7 points per game. He had a field goal percentage of almost 50%, a free throw percentage of almost 60%, and his three-point shot percentage was about 21%. Owen Swenby also is looking to be a big contributor this year. He had a field goal percentage of just about 41% and a free throw percentage of 63% and a three-point percentage of 20%. We'll take a quick time out here and get a couple messages from our sponsors in. We'll get Drew back in here, get settled down, and we'll get starting lineups and get ready for some basketball action. You're tuned to Viking Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Are your animals feeling a little under the weather? Give the nice folks at Colfax Animal Hospital a call. Bruce Buckley is just what the doctor ordered it. In fact, he is the doctor, and he's ready to help. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Give them a call at 715-962-3380.
When it comes to your finances, security is just so important. Dairy State Bank's online banking and mobile app offers dozens of new and enhanced real-time alerts. Whether an ATM withdrawal is made or a login to your account failed, you'll instantly know. So now, the technology that makes it easier to manage your money is also making it safer. Visit DairyStateBank.com or call to learn more. Dairy State Bank. Banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings. And we're back here at Glenwood City High School. Rick Olson along with Drew Gibson and Dan Petchow. Boy, it's good to see Dan back here. He hasn't been in action for quite a while now. Hopefully we keep him healthy now because we got a bunch of games left to do this week. We've got another boys game coming up on Thursday, girls game on Friday, and the boys are over at Stout taking on Chippewa McDonald on Saturday in that Northwest Tip-Off Classic. So we've got a lot of basketball on tap, and we hope to have it all for you here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. But Drew, we're getting ahead of ourselves. We got some basketball here tonight. Vikings against Glenwood City. Why don't you do a quick rundown of the starters, and that way when they do it from the bench, it won't be right on top of you.
Sounds good. All right, for the Glenwood City Hilltoppers, we're looking at number 0, Brady McCarthy, number 3, Maxwell Jansen, number 5, Drew Olson, number 22, Alec Anderson, and 25, Owen Swenby. Now looking at the Colfax Vikings boys roster, we start with number 4, Bryce Sikora, number 10, Elijah Ensminger, number 22, Tristan Lenz, and number 23, Jack Charlo, finishing with number 24, Ryan Albright.
Okay. And that's the same starting lineup the Vikings have used this year, and barring a major change, that's the way it'll stay for a while anyway. But for those of you that didn't or weren't aware, Drew played with these guys. It was only a year ago, and you also played against some of these Glenwood City guys, and you were talking a little bit about a couple of them. What are your recollections about some of these Hilltoppers?
Yeah, this is a Glenwood City team coming off a little bit of a rough year. They've lost a couple good players in Gavin Jansen and Brandon Hallquist, but they're a scrappy team. They get to it. They've got a few really athletic guys in Drew Olson, Owen Swenby, and a few more of those seniors. And you know, their record might not always show it, but they don't lose games by a lot of points usually. So I think it'll be a good match for the Colfax Vikings.
Okay, and you also played with a number of the Vikings now in that starting five. What are you seeing there?
Yeah, I think we see a little bit right away at the start of the season, a little bit of that lack of experience, skill to see there. It was a tough loss against Bloomer, but I think that'll make it really fun to watch this game. After losing by a big number, we know Coach Knoll, well, you guys haven't seen it, but he gets worked up in the locker room. If you do bad, you're going to remember it. So I know they're going to come out here striking tonight. Some of these seniors going to take charge. Elijah Ensminger looking really good at the
probably a few of them after that Bloomer game that had to check their shoulders and make sure their heads was still attached.
Oh, yeah. Coach Knoll always tells us if he wants to pay the bill, he will tear that locker room apart, but usually he's not willing to pay the bill.
Okay, and of course we have a energetic pep band here at Glenwood City, and again, that's the way it's supposed to be, and so we'll kind of enjoy that. And we'll take this time out for another message, and we'll be back right after that. You're tuned to Viking Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Join us at the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV for exciting Colfax High School girls basketball. Our next game will be on Friday, December 10th when the Vikings host the Mondovi Buffaloes. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-TV begins with Viking pregame at 6:55 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking girls basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV on Friday, December 10th.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
Like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
And we're back here at Glenwood City High School. Vikings back on the floor. Here come the Hilltoppers. Vikings are clad in their red uniforms with white trim, white Colfax across the front, big white numbers. And Drew was talking a little while ago about the new warm-ups that they have. And they're wearing hoodies and short-sleeved hoodies.
I like the style of them, but I'm not huge on the short-sleeve hoodie type deal. They look good, but I don't know how I'd like to feel those.
Yeah, the short sleeve is kind of strange, isn't it? I'm looking at Glenwood City. They too have hoodies, but theirs are long sleeve.
Yeah, that makes a little more sense. I think something interesting we should look for tonight too is this is Glenwood's number 2 game on the year. And as you may have heard, the JV coach for the Colfax Viking coach, Tristan Kittleson, is Glenwood's head coach from last year. So this is their second game with the new coach, and I guess we'll see how that goes. See what kind of defense and offense they're running, and
see what kind of adjustments they have to make.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially those upperclassmen. And when we look at their starting lineup, I see 1, 2, 3 seniors in that starting lineup. They came up through a completely different system, and now they have to make some adjustments. In fact, that system moved over to Colfax and is coaching the JV over at Colfax.
Yeah, that's tough, especially after coming off a little bit of a rough season, having to make that transition to a new coach. We know how it feels. We saw it last year, but as they work into the season, it'll get a little bit more normal, and they'll work it out.
Well, this is what happens when the JV game goes long.
Yeah,
you have to listen to us just sit here and fill in. And
we saw a lot of fouls in
so
that
now the
JV
pep
game.
band is playing the Colfax High School fight song. And of course, followed by Glenwood City's fight song. And now it appears as though we will have the sportsmanship announcement, followed by our national anthem, if they do it the same way they did over at, on Thursday. So we're waiting on that. We'll get that from the scores table. I guess we have 6 seconds to wait. You know, I can't do it before the clock buzzes, right?
Good evening. On behalf of the school district in Glenwood City and Colfax High School, welcome to tonight's Dun St. Croix boys basketball game. Tonight's game features the Vikings of Colfax and your Glenwood City Hilltoppers. Here's Senior Mitchell Police with tonight's sportsmanship address.
The WIAA, the Dun St. Croix Conference, Glenwood City High School, and Colfax High School require good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and fans at educated-based interscholastic events. We require your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, sexist, or ethnic comments, or other intimidating or taunting actions or chants will not be tolerated on grounds for removal from the site of competition. Please enjoy the game in a positive manner.
Please rise if you are able and remove your hats for the playing of the national anthem by Glenwood City Pep Band under the direction of Mr. Matt Lamb and Miss Abby Keister.
Glenwood City High School pep band with our national anthem. And now we'll send it back down to the scores table for their version of the starting lineups.
A senior number 4, Bryce Sikora. A A sophomore, number 10, Elijah Ensminger. A senior, number 22, Tristan Lenz. A junior, number 23, Jack Charlo. And a senior, number 24, Ryan Albright. And now for your Hilltoppers, a senior, number 0, Brady McCarthy. A junior, number 3, Max Jansen. A senior, number 5, Drew Olson. A junior, number 22, Alec Anderson. And a senior, number 25, Owen Slenby. Your Hilltoppers are coached by Patrick Olson and assisted by Tim Hoffman and Hayden Smith. Tonight's officials are Nick Bean, Logan King.
Well, after all that, we're only about 10 minutes behind schedule, almost 15. That's what we were on Saturday.
Yeah, that's
when we did
that's
that.
all right. We're looking at good veteran crew here, refs. Probably let them play a little bit, but.
Pair of 22s in the center circle. Len's going to jump it up against Anderson for the Hilltoppers. And we're getting ready to go. Lenz tips it way back into the backcourt. Is picked up there by Ensminger. Brings it across the timeline. Feeds it over to the right side. Now Ensminger puts up the shot and he hit it. Vikings take a 2-0 lead. Elijah Ensminger with about a 10-footer. McCarthy down the floor into the center circle. Now feeds it over to the left side down along the left baseline. That's Swenby. They feed it back out to the left side of Jansen. Ball gets taken away by the Vikings. Long pass intended for Ensminger, but it was tipped. It was tipped by McCarthy.
I had a feeling Colfax would come out here in one of Coach Noltz's special defenses. It looks like they're running a 2-1-2 or a light 3-2, and it's already starting problems.
Ensminger has it high, wide, and left. Takes it out between the circles. Feeds it over to the right side to Sikora. Sikora back out to Albright. Albright over to Charlo, then back over to Sikora. Sikora over to Ensminger. Out to Lenz at the top of the key. Over to the left side, now back out to the top of the key to Ensminger. He's at the free throw line, turns around, looks for somewhere to go. Feeds it underneath to Lenz. Lenz up off the glass and in. Vikings up 4-0. Hilltoppers with it. Jansen feeds it over underneath. Shot goes up, no good. That shot was by Olson. They come away with a loose ball. Swenby looking to do something with it. Feeds it over to Olson. Tries to drive in, does not get it. Down the floor goes Albright, and he puts it up and in. Or Sikora, check that. That was Bryce Sikora with that shot. Vikings look like they're ready to get out and run today.
They sure are. They're running the lanes really well. Tristan Lenz already putting his dominance in the post, showing that size and getting a quick bucket early on too.
McCarthy with it at the top of the key. Feeds it over to the left baseline. Driving down is Swenby. Ball gets taken away, but Swenby steals the pass, lays it up and in. 6-2, Vikings on top. Sikora with it. Goes off his leg and out of bounds. But we have a foul being called.
Looks like they got a little hand check on Anderson there.
That's his first personal. First team foul. First foul on anyone. And Sminger with it. Through the center circle for the Vikings. Over to the right side to Sikora. Sikora back up between the circles over to Shallow on the left. Sikora at the top of the key. To Lenz. To Ensminger, high, wide, and right. Ensminger now between the circles. He's at the right elbow. Gets it off to Sikora. Sikora tries to feed it into Lenz. Ball gets tapped loose. And Glenwood City can't control it. It goes out of bounds, and it'll be Vikings ball. Albright to inbound. Long pass out to Sikora. He's in the center circle. Ensminger now on the right side. Three-pointer from the right, no good. Lenz with the rebound. Feeds it out to Albright. Puts it up, it rattles off, no good. That was about 3/4 of the way down before it rattled out. Vikings steal the pass. This is Charlo driving down the left side of the lane, puts it up. It goes in and he draws the harm.
Charlotte doing a great job of getting to the line early in this year, leading the team in free throw attempts by a ton.
Charlo through the traffic.
Put a little bit of English on it and got her to fall.
8-2, Vikings on top. The foul was on McCarthy. It was his first personal, second team foul. And Charlo got 3 the hard way. 9-2, Vikings on top. Hilltoppers bringing it down the floor. McCarthy has it in the center circle. Now he's at the top of the key. Feeds it over to the right side to Blees. He loses it out of bounds. It was tapped out by the Vikings. So Glenwood City keeps the ball. McCarthy to inbound it. They get it in. Shot goes up, no good. That was a shot by Anderson. Ball got stolen. We have a whistle.
Just stepped on the line for the over and back there.
So the over and back gives the ball back to the Vikings. And Sminger has it in the backcourt. Comes across the timeline. Feeds it over to the right side, now back to the left side to Sminger. He's at the free throw line. Gets it to Albright. Over to Lenz. Lenz with a three-pointer, no good. Albright up with the rebound, and it's all tied up. They're going to call a jump ball. Albright and Wickman battling over that one. McCarthy bringing it down the floor. Gets it over to Jansen. Then over to the free throw line to Anderson. Anderson back out to Belize. Belize to McCarthy. Takes it down the lane. Turnaround jumper, no good. Rebound taken down by Lenz. He gets it to Sikora. Sikora runs into a little bit of traffic, and we're going to get a blocking foul called on McCarthy, and that's going to be his second personal. Third team foul on Glenwood City. Into the lineup is Drew Olson. McCarthy going to take a break. Also into the lineup is Swenby. Anderson took a break. Lenz with it for the Vikings. Gets it to Sikora. Over to Ansminger on the left side, and they're going to say Ansminger walked with it. Took a little shuffle step as he did this hip swivel before he put the ball on the floor. So coming down the floor is Wickman for the Hilltoppers. Through the center circle, feeds it off to the right side. Belize has it. Tries to feed it into the lane. Finally picked up by the Hilltoppers, laid up and in by Jansen. Max Jansen with the two-pointer. Sikora with it, gets it to Ensminger. Ensminger between the circles. Takes it over to the right side. Feeds it out to Albright. To Charlo. Down to the left side. To Ensminger, takes it to the free throw line. Shot is no good. Coming down the floor is Jansen. Feeds it up ahead to Wickman. Now it's Blees. Now they swing it over to the right side and then into the lane. Shot goes up, no good by Olsen. Rebound taken down by the Hilltoppers. Down underneath is Swenby. He puts the shot up and it goes in. Hilltoppers cut the Viking lead to 3, 9-6. Down the floor come the Vikings. Ball gets knocked loose in the lane. Being fought for. It's out of bounds off Glenwood City.
Each team playing a really fast-paced style right now. It'll be up to whoever can slow it down, take the patience to get a good shot, and score some points here.
Nick Jensen into the lineup for the Vikings. Also Mitch Medine. Ensminger with it. Between the circles. Gets it over to Charlo. Puts up a three. He hit that three. Long three-pointer for Jack Charlo. Vikings 12, Hilltoppers 6. Jansen with it. Stops at the top of the key. Feeds it over to Olsen on the left side of the lane. He loses the handle, and the Vikings pick it up. Down the floor comes Medine. Gets it over to Ensminger. Ensminger from the lane gets it out to Medine. Puts up a three-pointer. He hit the three-pointer. And we have a timeout being called by the Hilltoppers. 11:55 to go in the first half. Vikings 15, Glenwood City 6. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Join us at the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV for exciting Colfax High School boys basketball.
This is what we came in for!
Our next game will be on Thursday, December 9th when the Vikings host the Mondovi Buffaloes. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-TV begins with Viking pregame at 6:55 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV on Thursday, December 9th.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
And we're back here at Glenwood City High School. Rick Olson, Drew Gibson, Dan Petschow bringing you all the action at tonight's game. Glenwood City inbounding the ball. Jansen to bring it down the floor. He's picked up right near the timeline. Takes it over to the right side. Loses control of the ball. It gets fed down. Medine picks it up for the Vikings. 10-footer, and he hit it. Mitch Medine with the free throw. 17-6, Vikings on top.
Medine hasn't scored yet this year, but already has 5 quick ones tonight, and a big tip right there. Vikings really struggled shooting against Bloomer last week with a 1 for 22 from the three-point line. Already have 2 tonight.
So Glenwood City has it on the left side. Now they get it out at the top of the key. Drives into the lane. That's Olsen. We're going to get a jump ball called underneath. Olsen's shot did not go. Jensen in there on the rebound, and they say he got all tied up. Possession arrow in favor of the Vikings.
Glenwood has been running a run and jump defense, but looks like they might be in something different here.
Charlo waiting for the ball, but now they're going to switch things around because Charlo takes a seat. You could only have 5 on the floor. I think the Vikings had 6. It's not hockey, much to Dan's chagrin. Vikings inbound it. Medine with it. He takes it up across the timeline. On the left side, gets it out high to Sikora. Sikora takes it over to the right side, puts up the three. He hit the three-pointer. 20-6. Vikings open up a 14-point lead. Down the floor come the Hilltoppers. Wickman with it. Feeds it into the lane. It was to Olsen, and he got it to Anderson, who went up and drew the foul on Lenz. Lenz got him with the body on the way up. So Elick Anderson goes to the line for 2. That's the first foul on Lenz. First team foul on the Vikings. Shot is up, no good.
Even after playing for Coach Knoll for a year, I'm not sure if I know a solution to that defense. A little 2-1-2 or something, but it's tricky.
And Anderson's second shot is on the way. It's no good. Rebound. Chased down by Albright. Gets it over to Sikora, comes across the timeline, gets it to Jensen on the left. He feeds it over to Albright on the right, loses the handle, but he gets it back. To Sikora on the left, feeds into the lane to Lenz. Lenz puts it up off the glass, and he got it to go. 22-6, Vikings on top. This is Whitman, feeds it over to the left side to Belize. Belize gets his pocket picked by Medine. Medine takes it all the way down off the side of the backboard. And now a long, court-long pass to Jansen, and he lays it in.
Even with that missed layup, Mitch Medine really playing a mature game of basketball so far here tonight.
Albright with it, feeds it underneath to Lenz, and Lenz puts it up off the glass. Very nice pass from Albright into Lenz, who used his height to control the ball and the board and put it in the hole.
Vikings with only 8 assists so far in the year, looking to beat that pace already tonight.
Hilltoppers with it down near the baseline, kick it back out to the top of the key, over to the right side to Belize. Back out high to Jansen, over to the left side to Whitman. Shot from Anderson is up no good. The putback is good by Jansen. Down the floor come the Vikings. Medine with it. Got it to Sikora. Sikora drives right down the lane, lays it up. He got fouled going up. 24-10, Vikings on top. 9 minutes remaining in the first half. That foul was on Bryce Whitman. It's his first personal. 4th team foul on the Hilltoppers. First shot is up, it's off the iron, no good. We have some substitutes coming in. Ensminger and Charlo back into the lineup for the Vikings. Second shot is up and in. 25-10, Vikings up by 15. Glenwood City coming down the floor. McCarthy on the dribble. Feeds it over to the left side to Wickman. Ball gets taken away by the Vikings. Long pass just out of the reach of Ensminger, and we're going to get a timeout called by the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. Vikings on top, 25-10. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Are your pooch's proportions putting on pounds? Or is your kitty's constitution constantly complaining? Well, stop by and see the friendly folks at the Colfax Animal Hospital. Dr. Bruce Buckley and his staff will be happy to help you get your family friend back on the road to healthy living. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Call them at 715-962-3380. And we're back here at Glenwood City High School, where the Vikings have opened up a 15-point lead with 8:46 to go in the first half. Hilltoppers to inbound. They get it to McCarthy, who gets it right back to Olson. Loses the handle right at the timeline, feeds it over to Wickman on the left side. Now he takes it out between the circles. Wickman calling the plays, gets it over to Olson. Olson fakes the three and dribbles back outside the circle, or the arc. To McCarthy on the left side, tries to feed it in to the lane, and it gets rejected. They get it underneath, and it's Olson puts the shot up. It's no good. Lenz tries to get the rebound, taken down by McCarthy, and puts it back up, no good. Rebound being battled for. Coming away with it is Booth. They get it out to Olsen on the left side. Now down along the baseline to Anderson, back to Olsen. Olsen kicks it out to Wickman, then over to McCarthy. McCarthy dribbles it back out between the circles. Now sliding over to the right to Wickman. Back out to McCarthy at the top of the key. Gets it over to Olsen on the left, tries the left baseline, no good. Rebound taken down by Ensminger. He brings it down the floor, a little stutter step, takes it to the free throw line, puts a shot up, it rolls around and in. Elijah Ensminger with the shot. Four points for Ensminger on the night. Ball gets tapped loose. Picked up again by Glenwood City. They have numbers and they can't make it pay. Lenz comes down with the rebound. Here come the Vikings down the floor, 2-on-1. Sikora tries the shot, no good. Rebound taken down by Glenwood City. Getting some pressure in the backcourt. Long pass down to McCarthy. Shot goes up, no good. Gets the rebound, goes back up with it, and he gets fouled. I think it's going to be on Lenz.
That's number 2 for him.
And Drew, you were saying that's a second on him?
Yep.
It's also the second team foul.
Both teams getting really good looks right now. They're just not able to convert on them.
Brady McCarthy at the line. First shot rattles around and off. Jensen and Albright into the lineup for the Vikings. McCarthy's second shot. On the way, no good. We got a whistle and foul on the rebound with a push. And that's a foul on Jansen for the Hilltoppers. That's their 15th foul. Pass comes into Ensminger. Vikings get it across the timeline. Down into the corner to Albright. He hit the three-pointer and drew the foul. We're looking at a possible 4-point play here for Ryan Albright. Foul was on Owen Swenby. It's his first personal, 16th foul. So after this, the Vikings will be in the bonus for the rest of the first half. Albright to try the +1. It doesn't go. That's why 4-point plays are pretty rare. Down the floor come the Hilltoppers. Ball gets loose on the floor, scramble floor. Picked up by Charlo, and then it gets knocked out of bounds off of Glenwood City. Vikings will have it.
Albright started out the season really hot, hitting 3 big three-pointers in that first game. Has missed 8 straight until that one. It's nice to see him get one in.
Vikings inbound it to Ensminger. He's in the backcourt, gets double-teamed, but gets it across the timeline to Sikora. Back to Ensminger. He's between the circles, takes it over to the right side. Down into the right corner to Sikora. And the pass gets intercepted by McCarthy, and he gets his pocket picked to Ensminger, who lays it up and in. Vikings showing some quick hands. They must work for, we might have to rename Coach Knoll the Artful Dodger, as the way he's got these guys picking pockets. Shot goes up and in and going hard to the floor. Drawing the foul is Brady McCarthy. McCarthy will go to the line for the +1. Foul is on Charlo. It's his first personal, 3rd team foul. First shot is on the way. No good. Vikings have it. Down the floor they come. They give it to Ensminger. Ensminger tries to drive into the lane, puts it up and in. Might have got away with a little extra step in there, but he got the 2 points.
He sure did. Ensminger starting to get in a little bit of a rhythm after a rough first 2 games.
Vikings to inbound the ball.
Big number 44, Austin Swanson, into the game now.
.65 junior. Sikora with it from 3, off the iron, no good.
A little bit of a heat check there.
Down the floor come the Hilltoppers. Whitman with it, feeds it underneath to Anderson, who lays it up and in. Sikora with it, takes it up, feeds it back to Ensminger, who loses control. Glenwood City has it, but they can't connect on the pass. It goes out of bounds, and the Vikings will have it. Jansen stole the ball. He was trying to get it to Whitman, but he threw it behind him. Whitman couldn't make the adjustment. So the Vikings inbound it. Glenwood City putting on some full court pressure now. Ensminger across the timeline. To Jensen. Feeds it over to the right side to Albright. Albright puts a shot up, no good. Rebound. Jensen went in trying to get it, but he committed the foul. That'll be Jensen's first personal. 4th team foul on the Vikings, and we have a timeout on the floor. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
When it comes to your finances, security is just so important. Dairy State Bank's online banking and mobile app offers dozens of new and enhanced real-time alerts. Whether an ATM withdrawal is made or a login to your account failed, you'll instantly know. So now, the technology that makes it easier to manage your money is also making it safer. Visit DairyStateBank.com or call to learn more. Dairy State Bank. Banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Dairy State Bank.
Back here at Glenwood City High School, Vikings are on top, 34-14. They've opened that lead up to 20 points. 4:29 to go in the first half.
Hilltoppers so far struggling to find a solution for Coach Knoll's 2-1-2 defense, and the Vikings are really running the transition lanes well and getting a lot of easy baskets inside.
Down the floor come the Hilltoppers. They feed it across the lane, can't quite control it, but tipped back in. That's to Swenby. Gets it to Anderson, then back to Swenby, but he stepped on the baseline. He's out of bounds. Down the floor comes Ensminger. Feeds it over to Sikora on the left side to Ensminger between the circles. Now over to Sikora, down in the left corner. Now they get it back out high. Over into the right corner, Ensminger puts up the 3 and he hit it.
Ensminger started to field with 11 points.
Glenwood City with the ball. Wickman in trouble, but he gets it to Anderson. Then over to Jansen, and then they lose control. Sikora with it to Ensminger on the left baseline. Tries to go up, and he got shoved. And the foul was on the floor, but he's going to get the bonus. Foul was on Wickman. It's his second personal. That's the 7th team foul.
Ensminger hasn't been able to climb over that 8-point mark so far this year, but already has a quick 11 tonight. Let's see if he can make it 12 or 13 now.
Into the lineup for the Vikings is Jack Charlo. Also, Mitch Medine. And Sminger's first shot is off the iron, no good. We're going to get a whistle, and I do believe Austin Swanson's going to get... No, they're saying it's just out of bounds off of Swanson. I thought they might be getting him on an over and back.
I sure did too.
Over the back.
They should have.
That was very close to an over and back by Glenwood City. And then we get a foul. Foul is on Charlo. It's his second personal, 6th-team foul. Glenwood City will be in the bonus from here on in. Three-pointer put up by Belize is no good, and the Vikings come down the floor. Sikora with it, high, wide, and right. Gets it over to Ensminger on the left. Takes it between the circles. To Medine, wide right, now out high. Then over to Ensminger, long three-pointer, nothing but net. Elijah Ensminger with a dead eye tonight. Down the floor is McCarthy. They get it over to Jansen. Tries to feed it into the lane. Belize finally gets a handle on it. Gets it down into the left corner to Olsen. Olsen trying that left baseline. Now he tries to go up with it, puts it up and off the glass. He was having trouble finding a path for it, but finally he found one. 40-16, Vikings on top. Ensminger with it. Takes it down the right side of the lane. Gets it out to Sikora. Sikora over to Medine. From three, off the iron, no good. Down the floor comes McCarthy. McCarthy kicks it over to the left side, then to Olsen, tries to feed it underneath. They lose control, and it's going to be Vikings ball.
Glenwood down 24, starting to feel a little bit of the pressure. Just playing a little too fast for themselves right now.
Jensen into the lineup for the Vikings. Charlo takes a breather. Medine inbounds it to Ensminger. He's being guarded by Wickman. And he just walks it across the timeline. Takes it down to the lane, turns around at the free throw line. It's no good. Rebound being fought for underneath. Glenwood City comes away with it. Jansen feeds it down the floor. Shot got blocked by Jensen. Wickman's shot rejected by Jensen, and coming down the floor with it was Sikora, but they're going to get him for carrying the ball. Minute 27 to go in the first half. Don't forget, coming up at the halftime, we have a Viking profile followed by the Colfax High School report. That's all coming up in just under a minute and a half. Ball gets loose on the floor. They finally get it out to Olsen, who saves it from the over and back. And the official on the near side said, yes, it was over and back. I'm not so sure about that, but if he saw it, that must be what it was.
The toe just hit the line there.
Ensminger has it for the Vikings. Takes it into the lane, lays it up. He drew the foul. Elijah Ensminger to go to the line. That's a foul on Swenby. It's his second, 8th team foul. Ensminger's first shot is on the way. It's good. (41-16), Vikings on top. Second shot rims around and off, and the Hilltoppers come away with it. Olsen on the dribble, across the timeline, feeds it over to the left side, high, wide, and left. Now down under the left baseline, gets rid of it. They feed it over to the right side of the baseline. It's Anderson goes up with it and draws the foul. The foul's on Medine.
That's a tough one for Medellin. Those ones, they look real good, but not many positive outcomes cut out of that one.
That's his first personal, 7th team foul on the Vikings. Shots on the way, it goes off, and we have a lane violation being called anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. Vikings inbounded. They get it to Ensminger. Lost control. Actually had the control taken away from him, but the Hilltoppers knocked it out of bounds. So the Vikings will have it. 43.7 to go in the first half. Ensminger has it between the circles. Gets it out high to Sikora. High, wide, right. He's just going to put the ball on his hip and let that clock run. Coach Knoll is calling for one shot. Vikings will spread things out.
Probably wait until there's about 10 or 8 seconds here. One run, good play. Not let him get another shot.
Now they're in motion. Albright with it. Feeds it over to Sikora. Sikora underneath. It's up and in by Austin Swanson. 43-18, Vikings on top. Last second shot by Olsen is no good. We've reached halftime. The Vikings have opened up a nice lead, 43-18 over the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. Coming up after this timeout, we have Viking halftime.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Time now for Viking Halftime with this week's edition of Viking Profile and the Colfax High School Report. That's all coming up following this brief timeout.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Today on Viking Profile, we're talking with Bryce Sikora. And Bryce, your year here at Colfax?
Senior, yep.
Okay, and we know you play basketball, but what are some other activities you're involved with here at school?
Football and baseball.
All right. Now, when did you start playing basketball, and what kind of an experience has that been?
I've been playing since roughly 5th grade, and my game's always been improving, and I've loved the sport because, you know, teammates, and you just grow that bond with people and coaches.
What's the most important thing that you've learned then playing basketball?
Probably communication. I mean, that's huge in playing with anybody on the court.
Especially a fast-moving game like basketball. You better have the communication right or you're going to mess up.
Oh, totally.
All right, so when you're not playing basketball, you're not here at school, what are some other things that keep you interested or occupied?
I like to hunt, fish, and ride four-wheeler.
That sounds good. Be outside.
Yep.
Have some fun. Rapid-fire questions. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Cookies.
Now, is that the same thing you said during football?
Yep.
Okay, and your favorite flavor?
Peanut butter.
Oh, my. Okay.
Change it out.
Yeah, you did. Your favorite color and why?
I don't have a favorite color. Let's go red.
Go red? This school color?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, all right. If you could have a superpower, what would it be and why?
Fly.
Okay, now, if you could fly, of course you have to have a superhero name to go with that. So what's Bryce's superhero name?
fly a lot.
Fly a lot. Oh, you should put a sir in front of that. Sir fly a lot. Yes. There. Okay, and your favorite NBA team?
Bucks.
All right. And favorite college team?
Badgers.
Very good. And we're talking with Bryce Sikora on Viking Profile. And Bryce, what are your plans for after high school?
Go down to Florida, hopefully be a firefighter or a cop, and then go from there.
Okay, how about a shout out to the family?
Shout out to my mom, dad, and sister.
Okay. When people watch Viking basketball games, where are they going to find you on the floor?
All over the place since we'll be pressing, but I'll mainly be a guard handling the ball, hopefully. So.
Okay. Hey, we want to thank Bryce Sikora for joining us today on Viking Profile. Coming up next, more Viking Halftime.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
The thing that drives me every day as a dad is him. Every day he's hungry for something. And there's this huge responsibility in making sure that he's a good person. I think the advice I would give is you don't need to know all the answers. It's okay to make mistakes. As long as it's coming from love, then it kind of starts to work itself out.
Time now for the Colfax High School Report with an update about what's happening at Colfax High School.
The Colfax Vikings athletics got back into full swing last week with the girls basketball team having 3 games, the boys had 2, and the wrestlers had a season opening tournament. The Viking girls went 3-0 last week with dominating performances over the Clear Lake Warriors 70-43 and the Glenwood City Hilltoppers 76-21. The girls wrapped up the week by defeating Stanley Boyd 67-55 last Saturday. Those victories leave the girls with a season record of 5 wins and 1 loss. They're 1-0 in the Dun St. Croix Conference. The Viking boys opened their 2021-2022 season with a 50-45 win over the Amory Warriors. Then they ran into a buzzsaw when they suffered an 81-35 loss at the hands of the Bloomer Blackhawks. That leaves the boys with a record of 1 win and 1 loss on the season. The Bloomer Colfax wrestlers competed in the John Tim duels at Glenwood City last Saturday. The Grapplers placed 4th out of 7 teams. The Bloomer Colfax finished with the 5 dual meets with a record of 2 wins and 3 losses. This week, it's the boys basketball team to have a very busy week with games on Tuesday at Glenwood City. Thursday, they'll host Mondovi, and on Saturday, they will take on the McDonald Central Max in the Northwest Tip-Off Classic at UW Stout. We will have all 3 games on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. On Friday, the Viking girls will host the Mondovi Buffaloes. We will also have that game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. The Bloomer Colfax wrestling team will host the Regis Altoona team in a dual meet on Thursday at Bloomer High School. Wrestling action begins at 7 p.m. Then on Saturday the 11th, the Grapplers travel to Eau Claire North to participate in the 32-team North High Wrestling Varsity Invitational. Wrestling begins at 9 a.m. Coming up next week, the Viking girls will have games on Tuesday the 14th and Friday the 17th. On Tuesday, they will host the Durand Panthers, and on Friday, they will travel to Boyceville to take on the Boyceville Bulldogs. We'll have both of those games on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. The Viking boys will play on Thursday next week when they host the Durand Panthers. We'll also have that game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. The Bloomer Colfax wrestling team will travel to Boyceville for a dual meet on Thursday. Wrestling action begins at 7 p.m. Then on Friday, the 17th, the Grapplers travel to Cameron, where wrestling begins at 5 p.m. In other school news, the annual holiday programs will be held on Tuesday of this week. Junior kindergarten will be at 9 a.m. and at 12:30 p.m. Kindergarten will be at 10:30 a.m. Grades 1 through 4 will be at 1:30 p.m. and grades 5 through 8 will be held at 7 p.m. If you can't make it to a concert and still wish to see it, you can find it on the Colfax School website at Viking TV. And that's what's happening for the week of December 5th through the 11th at Colfax High School.
You've been tuned to the Colfax High School Report with an update about what's happening at Colfax High School. Stay tuned. Coming up next is more Viking halftime and then second half action.
And we're back here at Glenwood City. Rick Olson along with Drew Gibson. And Drew, you got a little bit of time this halftime. Why don't you run through those first half stats?
Yeah, sounds good. For Glenwood, we have the leading scorer, Alec Anderson. Then with 4 points each, we have Maxwell Jensen and Owen Swenby. Then with 2 points each, Drew Olson and Brady McCarthy. Then for the Colfax Boys Viking team, we have Elijah Ensminger with 15 points. 3 players at 6 points with Bryce Sikora, Tristan Lenz, Jack Charlo, Mitch Medine with 5, Ryan Albright with 3, and Austin Swanson with 2 to end the half.
So, Elijah Ensminger kind of caught fire in that first half, 15 points.
He sure did. He definitely has it in him. It just hasn't come out those first 2 games, and now we're really seeing it on display, hitting some shots. He's really good with those hesitations, getting in there and hitting mid-range jumpers, and he's showing it tonight.
Vikings are on the floor. We're still waiting for the Hilltoppers to come out of the locker room. They're saying we got about a minute to go. Tell you what, we'll take a quick time out here. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Simplify your life. Pleasant Valley Properties provides affordable housing and homes in communities in Wisconsin, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Nebraska. They have staff available to help you locate the home that best meets your needs and desires, as well as service staff that maintains the properties. Contact Pleasant Valley Properties at 715-226-6200. Call today and let them help you get into the home of your dreams. That's Pleasant Valley Properties, 301 Bremer Avenue in Colfax.
And we are now back, and the Hilltoppers are back, and they're on the floor. And they will get the ball to start the second half. It'll be Anthony Nelson to inbound. Looks like he's going to be passing it in Max Jansen. Jansen has it. Brings it across the timeline. Feeds it into the lane to Anderson. Over onto the right side to Olson. Rebound taken down by Charlo for the Vikings. Down the floor comes Ensminger. Ensminger feeds it off to the right side. And Sikora's shot is no good. Coming down the floor are the Hilltoppers. They feed it underneath. It gets knocked away by the Vikings. Ensminger down the floor. Takes it down the left baseline. Gets it to Lenz. Lenz puts the shot up. No good. Gets the rebound. Feeds it out to Charlo. Charlo's shot is short. No good. Ensminger with the rebound. No good. Vikings get the rebound, but it gets knocked out of bounds off the Vikings. 3 different Vikings had their hands on that ball that time, but they came down and knocked it out of bounds.
It's a great job cleaning up the glass there. They just really got to finish on a couple of those opportunities.
Hilltoppers with it. Feed it over to the right side. Down underneath, laying it up, and in is Nelson.
His first points of the night.
43-20. Sikora over to Ensminger on the left. Back over to Charlo on the right. Down into the corner to Sikora. To Lenz. Cross-court pass over to Ensminger. Dribbles now between the circles. Brings it over to the right side. Directing traffic to Charlo. To Albright. Underneath to Lenz. Lenz puts the shot up off the glass and in. That's 8 points for Tristan Lenz tonight. And down the floor come the Hilltoppers. Olson with it on the left side. Gets it to Anderson. Anderson gets it back out high to Nelson. Then coming down along the baseline is Jansen. Vikings have it. Hard pass to Albright. Spins, gets it out to Ensminger. Ensminger looking for somewhere to go, and he traveled. Got to spinning around and discovered both feet were moving. Nelson to inbound for the Hilltoppers. Now Jansen has it. Comes across the timeline. Over to Nelson, tries to feed it into the lane. Vikings get a hand on it, and here they come down the floor. Long pass to Ensminger. He's in the right, puts up the three, no good. Rebound. Charlo knocks it in, but the ball gets knocked away, and down comes Nelson. Tries to feed it underneath. Shot goes up, no good. Rebound, no good. Next shot, and we're going to get a foul, and I think it's going to be called on Lenz. Swenby with a couple of opportunities there. He'll go to the line for two. That's the third foul on Lenz. First shot's up and in. 45-21.
Looks like Coach Knoll is going to let Lenz stay in there. Probably hoping to get some good minutes here and let some of those older guys sit.
Second shot up and in. .23 lead for the Vikings. And down the floor they come. Sikora with it. He's out high between the circles. Feeds it over to the right side. Ensminger. Back over to Albright, to Charlo on the left. To Ensminger at the top of the key. To Sikora on the right. Feeds it underneath to Charlo. Turn around, puts it up, no good. Lenz with the rebound. Tries to turn around. We're going to get a whistle and a foul. It's a foul on Drew Olson. That's his first personal. First team foul on Glenwood City. Sikora gets it in. Oh, and Albright took an extra step putting the ball to the floor. Those feet, it was like one of those cartoon characters. His feet are just spinning before that ball went to the floor. Hey, we have a timeout on the floor. 14:46 to go. Vikings 45, Hilltoppers 22. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Join us at the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV for exciting Colfax High School boys basketball.
This is what we came in for.
Our next game will be on Thursday, December 9th when the Vikings host the Mondovi Buffaloes. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-TV begins with Viking pregame at 6:55 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV on Thursday, December 9th.
Back here at Glenwood City High School. Hilltoppers to inbound the ball. Vikings on top, 45-22. Jansen across the timeline, gets it over to the right side to Olson, tries to feed it into the lane. Ball gets knocked loose, it's still loose on the floor. Picked up by Lenz, and we're going to get a whistle and a jump ball.
Great hustle by Lenz there, getting that ball on the floor.
Reminds me of the old fumble drills during football. Just try to reach that arm out there and scoop it in as best you can. Vikings bring it down. Oh, and we got an over and back being called on the Vikings. Ensminger doesn't understand it, but you have to establish yourself in the forecourt, which he hadn't done. He leapt out of the backcourt. But that'll be a teachable moment for Coach Knoll. Shot going up by McCarthy is no good. He gets his own rebound. Lenz with the rebound on the missed shot, and we have a whistle. Foul. That's going to be a foul on Swenby. That's his third personal. Second team foul. Full court pressure being put on by the Hilltoppers. And Sminger bringing the ball down the floor for the Vikings. Takes it over to the left side. Now down to the left baseline. Kind of gets trapped down there. Finds himself open all of a sudden. Shot doesn't go in. Rebound fought for and comes away by the Hilltoppers. McCarthy with it. Takes it into the lane. Pulls on the brakes. Gives it to Olsen. Tries to drive the baseline. No good. And we have a travel being called on Lenz. He had the rebound. Tried to get it out to Charlo. And they got him with a travel. Jensen into the lineup for Charlo. McCarthy to inbound it. Ball got knocked out of bounds immediately by Jensen. McCarthy to try again. This time he gets it out high to Blees. Over to the left side to McCarthy. Down to Wickman in the left corner. Wickman cross-court pass to Nelson. Down to the right corner, and the ball gets taken away by the Vikings. Lenz tries to pass it through someone. Ball still loose on the floor. Jensen with it, and it's going to get tied up there. Possession arrow in favor of Glenwood City. Hilltoppers to inbound. And we have a substitution here. Nick Hirami into the lineup. As I didn't catch the number of who just went up into the bleachers to get the trainer to
I believe Brady McCarthy has a little bit of blood on the shin there. Get it taped up and get back in.
Pass comes in to Wickman. And they feed it down to the baseline to Anderson. Then to Hirami. Shot goes up, no good. Rebound taken away by Lenz. Over to Medine. Now to Ensminger between the circles. Takes it over to the left side. Puts up a three-pointer. It's off the air, no good. And they're going to get Lenz with over the back.
That's number 4 on Lenz. It might be time to take him out.
Looks like Charlo's going to come in to do just that.
Lenz doing a great job of getting a lot of rebounds right now, just getting himself in a little bit of foul trouble.
McCarthy brings the ball down, back into the lineup, we should say. They get the ball out high to McCarthy, takes it into the lane, then down to Wickman at the baseline. They feed it out to Jansen. Over to Belize on the right. Belize, well, we get a timeout called by the Hilltoppers. So, Vikings 45, Hilltoppers 22, and you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
When you've checked that hayfield and find it's time to harvest, give a call to Aaron's Custom Baling. Aaron will provide you with 4x5 net-wrapped round bales. He can even give you bales that spruced up look with select custom netting if you'd like. Serving Western Wisconsin, that's Aaron's Custom Baling. Call 715-202-0118.
We are back here at Glenwood City. Vikings on top, 45-22. Not a whole lot of scoring this half.
No, Vikings just looking to hold on to this big lead, and they're doing so far, slowing down the game and letting things play out the way they want.
Into the lane are the Hilltoppers. Olsen lays it up and in. And down the floor come the Vikings. Medine gets it over to Ensminger. Ensminger to Albright. Back to Medine from 3. He hit the three-pointer. Mitch Medine with the three-pointer. Hilltoppers back down the floor. Believes with it. Tries to feed it into the lane. Picked up there by Jansen, who puts it up and in. And we get another timeout called by the Hilltoppers. 11:57 to go, and you're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Join us at the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV for exciting Colfax High School girls basketball. Our next game will be on Friday, December 10th, when the Vikings host the Mondovi Buffaloes. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-TV begins with Viking pregame at 6:55 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking girls basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV on Friday, December 10th.
Back here at Glenwood City. Vikings to inbound. Ensminger with it in the backcourt. He's picked up there by McCarthy. Takes it down the right side. He's high, wide, and right. Gets it over to Charlo, to Albright, to Medine. On the left. Feeding it to Charlo. Charlo's shot is no good, but he draws the foul. It's going to be a foul on Olsen.
Great find by Nick Jensen.
So Charlo at the line for two. First shot's on the way, and it's good. Swenby back into the lineup for the Hilltoppers. Second shot on the way, it's also good. Nelson also back in. And the Hilltoppers come down the floor. Vikings on top, 50-26.
Vikings in a 1-3-1 now.
Olsen with it. Feeds it to the baseline. Shot goes up, it's blocked. Charlo comes away with it. Gets it over to Medine. Medine under pressure from McCarthy. Gets it into the forecourt to Charlo. Charlo drives into the lane, tries to put the shot up. It's no good, but the Hilltoppers were out of bounds when they tried to save it. So it'll be Viking ball under the basket. And we have another timeout being called. This time we're going to keep it right here. Want to remind you also about the Bloomer Colfax wrestling team. They've got a dual meet coming up on Thursday. They're going to be taking on Altoona Regis. Wrestling's going to get underway at 7 p.m. That's at the Bloomer High School. That's for those of you who are wrestling fans. And again, don't forget our next Viking basketball game that we're going to have here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV is on Thursday as the Viking boys take on the Mondovi Buffaloes. That'll start at 6:55 with Viking pregame. And then don't forget, we've got some basketball coming up from the Northwest Tip-Off Classic at UW Stout. Vikings taking on the McDonald Central Max. And that'll be at, our coverage will start at 11:25. Tip-off is at 11:45 in that one. Kind of looking forward to that. That's a big day of basketball over at UW Stout.
Yeah, it's a real one. Real fun one to play in, too.
Vikings inbound the ball. It gets knocked away, and down the floor comes Glenwood City. McCarthy with it down along the baseline. Jumps into the lane, tries to put it up. It's no good, and he goes hard to the floor. There's some laughing and joking about that one as he was getting up. Hard hit to the floor, but no hard feelings. McCarthy's at the line for two. Foul was on Ensminger. First shot is up, it's no good. That's Ensminger's first foul. Sikora into the lineup for the Vikings. Ensminger gets a break. McCarthy's second shot is up. It's no good. Vikings come away with it. Albright gets it over to Sikora. Back over to Albright on the left. Stops at the left elbow, puts a shot up and in. 52-26. Vikings up by 26. McCarthy with it, gets it over to Olsen on the left side of the lane, underneath to Nelson on the left side. Gets it out high to McCarthy, three-pointer on the way, no good. Jensen with the rebound for the Vikings. Sikora with it on the left side. Gets it over to Albright. Out to Medine from three, no good. Jensen with the putback, it goes in. Nick Jensen with a nice follow-up. 54-26. McCarthy feeds it over to the right side. Ball gets knocked out of bounds off of Charlo.
After Jensen's bucket, that puts 8 Vikings on the scoreboard tonight.
It's nice to see the balanced scoring because that causes trouble for the defense. You don't know who to cover.
Exactly.
Other than whoever's got the ball, but it means you can score a lot of different ways.
When shots fall, it makes games a lot easier.
Long shot put up by Nelson is no good. Hilltoppers come down with the rebound. Try another one, no good. And they come away with it again. McCarthy with it out high. Now they get it down underneath. Then into the lane. Shot goes up by Nelson, and it's rejected by Charlo. Charlo just swatted that one up into the stands. So the Hilltoppers will inbound it, but it was a pretty impressive block by Charlo. Vikings take the ball away, and it gets stolen right back, and then gets stolen back to the Vikings. And trying to save it is Charlo, but he stepped out of bounds before he saved it.
Up 28, it's hard to be that eager right now. You got to calm down and look for a good shot.
Hilltoppers inbound it to Nelson, back out to Jansen, to McCarthy to Jansen. McCarthy at the free throw line, over to Jansen, high, wide, and left. Takes it into the lane, gets it out to Nelson, three-pointer on the way, no good off the iron. This is Jansen again, and it doesn't go. Vikings come away with it. Medine on the dribble. He's tied up in the backcourt, tries to get it over to Jensen, and the ball gets knocked away. Vikings getting a little ragged. That's McCarthy with the shot. And it goes in 54-28. 8:56 to go. Down the floor comes Medine, and he gets his pocket picked, and back down comes McCarthy. Feeds it over and can't control it. Is Wickman. Almost looked like he might have turned his ankle or something, but he seems to be okay now. Albright inbound for the Vikings. To Sikora. Sikora brings it down the floor. Feeds it over to the right side to Ensminger. And we're going to get an offensive foul.
Here to say he wasn't set. I don't know if I agree with him there, but that's a call on Austin Swanson.
So a moving screen on Austin Swanson, basically. If you run into a screen by Austin Swanson, you know you've been screened.
He's a big
pretty
man.
solid in there. Underneath pass and a layup and in by Anderson. Ensminger with it, takes it down the left side, puts the shot up, it's no good. We have a whistle, we have a foul. And that's on Jaden Quinn. Foul's on Quinn. It's his first personal, fourth team foul. High inbound pass to Ensminger. Ensminger takes it to the free throw line. He's double teamed there, and we're going to get a foul called on McCarthy. That's his fourth. Or no, that's his third. Third foul on McCarthy. Fourth team foul. Fifth team foul. Looking at the wrong side there. Ensminger spinning at the free throw line. Gets it over to Albright. And to Sikora, back out to Albright. He put up the three and he hit it. Ryan Albright drains the three, 57-30.
Albright's second of the night.
27-point lead for the Vikings. Lee's with it, tries to feed it down low. Went off a Viking foot. We have a couple players.
After only 4 threes in those first 2 games for the Vikings, they have 8 tonight already.
Hirimi, I think is how it's pronounced, or something like that.
Hurlmeyer.
Hurlmeyer? I'll believe you. It's not what it looks like here, but that's all right. Anyway, the Hilltoppers have it. McCarthy gets it out to Anderson. Shot goes up. It's no good. We have a whistle on the shot. Falls on Albright. That's Albright's first personal. 15 foul on the Vikings. 57-30. Anderson's shot is good.
Anderson looking to be the first double-digit scorer for the Hilltoppers tonight.
Anderson's second shot is on the way. It's also good.
And he will be. 10 points for Anderson.
57-32. Long pass down the floor. It's tapped around, and Lenz comes away with it. Gets it out to Ensminger. Drives into the lane. Tries to put it up. No good. We have a whistle and foul being called on Swanson. He did kind of hug the Hilltopper player, or tried to get the rebound.
Good hustle, just got in a bad position there.
Oh! Airborne went Ensminger. Came down okay. Long shot. And it's out of bounds, goes over to Vikings. Ensminger went high up to get a loose ball right near the sideline. Came down on his side. .6:42 to go in the ball game. Full court press being put on by the Hilltoppers. Ball gets knocked away from Swanson, and it's going to be Viking ball. Pass gets into Ensminger. Being closely guarded by Whitman. Now he's in trouble down underneath. Pass gets out to Charlo. Takes it quickly across the timeline. Charlo loses the handle on it, and here come the Hilltoppers. Jansen with it. Loses it out of bounds. Vikings ball. Nelson into the lineup, along with Olson, and we get a timeout called. So with 6:16 to go, it's Vikings 57, Hilltoppers 32. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzing overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm going to get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Vikings getting ready to inbound. Sikora has it. Feeds it into the forecourt to Charlo. Cross court pass to Ensminger. Ensminger at the top of the key. Feeds it into the lane to Lenz. Lenz puts it up and it goes in.
Len's
That's
now in
10
double
point.
digits.
What was that?
Len's now in double digits.
Wickman gets it over to Olsen. And losing it out of bounds off the Vikings is the guy that Drew knows how to pronounce. Perlmeyer?
Correct.
Hey, okay. Olsen has it. See, names like that I can pronounce. I better be able to pronounce that one. Olsen in the right corner, feeds it into the lane to Perlmeyer. It's knocked loose. And we've got a foul. That foul's on Charlo. It's his third. Seventh foul on the Vikings. This is Perlmeyer at the line. First shot on the way, no good. Rebound, being chased down by Swenby, but it goes out of bounds off of him, so it'll be Viking ball. 59-32. Vikings on top. 5:25 to go. And Sminger with it, being guarded closely by Nelson. And Sminger with a little shake and bake move, takes it over to the right side, spins, takes it out to the top of the key. To Sikora, to Lenz. And we have travel being called on Lenz.
Five minutes left, 27-point game. A good time for each team to draw up a couple of new set plays and try some new things out.
Perlmeyer with it down in the right corner. Back out high to Olsen for the Hilltoppers. Cross court pass over to Nelson, high, wide, and left. Back to Olsen on the right side of the lane, puts a shot up and it goes in. Lenz gets it into Sikora, over to Ensminger. Ensminger across the timeline, takes it to the right side. He's high, wide, and right. Still on the dribble. Feeds it over to Charlo on the left. And we're going to get a foul on Lenz.
That'll be his last of the game. Second time a Viking just hasn't gotten set early enough on a screen, and we're going the other way.
So Lenz fouls out with 10. In to replace him is Nick Jensen. And here come the Hilltoppers, and the ball gets intercepted by the Vikings. Down comes Ensminger, lays it up, it does not go in. Here come the Hilltoppers back down. Olsen into the lane, and we're going to get a travel on Olsen. Took a little hop before he got rid of the ball.
Go, you guys, pass the ball a little.
Albright to Ensminger, across the timeline, between the circles. Ensminger feeds it over to Jensen on the left. Cross court pass to Ensminger on the right. Back out to Jensen at the top of the key. Feeds it down into the right corner. It's Medine back out to Ensminger. Ensminger from the right elbow, no good. We have a whistle. We're going to get a foul on Whitman. That's his third, sixth foul. They're going to say it was a shooting foul. So Ensminger at the line for two. First shot is up. It's good.
Ensminger able to get on the board in the second half, tallying up at 16 points right now.
(60-34). Ensminger has the ball, getting ready for a second shot. It's on the way, it's good.
Looks like
and into the
Ensminger.
lineup for the Vikings is Colton Hoffman, replacing Ensminger.
Bill tonight with 17 points.
And I would guess that, barring a drastic occurrence, his night is done. Wickman with it, gets it out high to Belize. Over to Jansen. Jansen tries to get it back out to Wickman. Wickman had to run over to catch it. Over to Belize on the right. Back to Jansen in the lane. Out to Wickman. High, wide, and left. Off his foot. Picked up by Jensen for the Vikings. Feeds it down to Albright. Lays it up and it goes in. 63-34. They feed it out high, wide, and left. This is Belize with it. Feeds it into the left elbow to Anderson. Anderson over into the right corner to Wickman. Out to Jansen. Jansen over to Belize on the left side. Puts up the three. No good. Rebound taken down by Jansen. Turns around, tries to go in with it. We're going to get a block called on Jensen. So that's the first personal, and I take it back, that was not on Jensen. That was on Colton Hoffman. Ninth foul on the Vikings. And it was not a shooting foul. So Jansen at the line. Shooting the 1-on-1. First shot is up. It's no good. Rebound tapped around. No control. We're going to get a whistle and a foul. It's going to be on Swanson. Into the lineup, by the way, for the Vikings now is Mason Yarrington. Shot goes up and in. Brendan Booth at the line for the Hilltoppers. Second shot on the way, no good. Rebound taken down by Jansen. Gets it out to Wickman. Over to Nelson. Can't control it. We've got a wrestling match on the floor, and it's a jump ball. Must have been some leftovers from that big wrestling tournament they had here last weekend. The Bloomer Colfax wrestling team finished kind of in the middle of the pack of that one. Down the floor comes Medine. Feeds it over, and a slip and a travel. That was Colton Hoffman. Tried to do a jump stop, and the foot went out from underneath.
At this point in the game, you get a lot of sweat on the floor. You never know what's going to happen.
That's why you got to keep it under control. All right, down the floor comes Wickman. Pass underneath. It goes up. It's no good. We have a foul.
We'll have Austin Swanson at the line for a 1-on-1.
And the foul is on Owen Swenby. It's his fourth. We have a player in the lineup for Glenwood City that we don't have the name of. I'll bet.
That would be Marcus DeSmith.
I would say, yeah. Yeah, it's not 55, it's 35. Marcus DeSmith in there. Austin Swanson at the line, shooting the 1-on-1. First shot's on the way, off the back of the air, no good. Rebound tipped around, taken out of there by Nelson. He gets it over to Wickman, who brings it across the timeline. Back over to Nelson on the right side, then down underneath. That was to Booth, and they lose control out of bounds. It'll be Viking ball. 1:42 to go in this one. Vikings on top, 63-35. Mitch Medine on the dribble. Takes it across the timeline. Feeds it over to Yarrington. Now back, a three-pointer on the way by Johnson is no good. Putback was up and in. I believe that was off of Hoffman.
It was. First points of the night for Hoffman.
Hilltoppers feed it over to the left side.
I believe that was even Colton
Nelson.
Hoffman's first varsity points there.
It could be. They try to feed it down to the right baseline. They get it down there. Now out to Hurlmeyer. Shot is up, no good. Hilltoppers get it to Smith. Feeds it out high and saved by Wickman. Takes it over to the right side. They try to feed it into the lane. Ball gets knocked loose. Hilltoppers come away with it. To Smith with it. Down into the right corner. Shot goes up by Wickman is no good. And we're going to get a foul. And that's a foul on Colton Hoffman. First shot's on the way. It's good.
Wickman's first points of the night.
You know, he's been awfully busy on the floor, just hasn't put many shots up.
He sure has. A lot of good passes, a lot of good defense, just didn't happen to get on the scoreboard quite yet.
Well, now he's got a couple to show for it. Yarrington with it. Gets it over to Medine for the Vikings. Out high to Johnson. Shot goes up, no good. Rebound taken away by the Hilltoppers. Down the floor they come. Can't control it, out of bounds, and Vikings will have it.
I think that's the last action of the night we're going to see.
11 seconds remaining, so the Vikings have to get it across the timeline. Medine with it. 6 seconds remaining.
They're going to have to get it across.
And there he does. And that'll be the end of it. Final score tonight. Vikings 65 and the Hilltoppers 37. Coming up in just a couple moments, we will have Viking post-game. And we'll have a chat with Coach Knoll. And Drew will have all the statistics, and we'll have all that coming up right after this timeout. You're tuned to Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for Colfax Viking Boys Basketball. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Post Game, where we'll take a look back at today's Viking game.
Time now for Viking Post Game, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Boys game. And now, Viking Post Game.
And we're back here at Glenwood City High School. Rick Olson, along with Drew Gibson. Dan Petchow has been doing an admirable job as a cameraman tonight. And a position he's not real familiar with for basketball, although he does a heck of a job at the Speedway and a heck of a job at Cavalier baseball games. Boy, we've got some of that coming up this summer, Dan. You just can't wait for that.
Go Rivermen.
Huh?
Go Rivermen.
Yeah, I know. Drew's one of the... You know, I don't know what it is with our broadcasting company here. Ethan pitches for the Beef River Bullfrogs, and Drew here plays for the Eau Claire Rivermen, and we cover the Eau Claire Cavaliers. I don't know. Something strange with this world. But we're doing basketball tonight, and the Vikings had a pretty successful evening tonight, Drew, with that 65-37 victory over the Glenwood City Hilltoppers.
They sure did. Coach Knoll came out ready. So did the boys. They slapped on a 2-1-2, kind of a half-court press, really aggressive. They were running the court well, and they showed they were ready to play. They didn't like getting beat last week, and they came out and hit 8 threes, and
maybe Dan can get a shot for us over to our right a little bit. Viking players don't want to leave the floor. This was a pretty big win for them.
Oh, this is a good one to soak in.
And so they're getting a lot of pictures taken, a lot of family. They haven't gone to the locker room yet, standing around in their uniforms, and you know, a lot of chatting and hugging and stuff going on. It was a good win for the Vikings.
That's good morale booster, and it's a big message for the conference. Colfax is not messing around. Big win over Glenwood City tonight. Undefeated in conference to start the year.
Yeah, and that moves the record for the Vikings to 2-1 on the season, 1-0 in the conference. You know, after 3 games, that's almost as good as it can get for you.
Yeah.
And it could be a lot worse, and it's not. And so Vikings showing a lot of promise. They had that little stumble at Bloomer, and we're kind of waiting here for Coach Knoll. And I'll tell you what, while we wait for him, we'll take this brief time out. You're tuned to Viking Post Game on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Hi there, Russell here. I'm one of Santa's elves. In fact, I'm pretty sure I'm his chief elf when it comes to making deliveries on Christmas Eve. It's a busy time here at the North Pole. We elves are pretty good at assembling things. That's why the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV asked me to assemble their Christmas gift to you. So here's what I've come up with. We're all going on a ride with Santa on Christmas Eve. Not his whole trip, but part of it. And I have the in-flight entertainment all lined up. So join me, Santa, and the Northern Light Webcasting Network along with NLWN-TV on Christmas Eve beginning at 7 p.m.
You're tuned to the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. We use advertising revenue to make this service available to you. If you have a business and would like to get your message out to our ever-increasing audience, give us a call at 715-563-1749. We'll be happy to discuss our budget-friendly advertising packages with you. Get your business noticed on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV by calling 715-563-1749.
And we're back here at Glenwood City High School. Vikings victorious, 65-37 over the Hilltoppers. Drew, why don't you let us know how we got those points?
Sounds great. For the Hilltoppers, leading the way was Alec Anderson with 10 points. Then we had Maxwell Jansen with 8. Then Owen Swemby with 6. Both Brady McCarthy and Drew Olson with 4. 2 points each from Bryce Wickman and Anthony Nelson. And then 1 point for Brendan Booth. Then for the Colfax Vikings, leading the way was Elijah Ensminger with 17 points, 15 of which were in the first half. Then on to 10 points from both Tristan Lenz and Ryan Albright, 8 points each from Mitch Medine and Jack Charlo, 5 points from Colton Hoffman, Nick Jensen, and Austin Swanson. 9 different Vikings scored tonight. I think it shows a great deal about the depth of the bench. I think we saw a great night from Mitch Medine, not just the 8 points, but a lot of great tips on defense. Really played strong with the ball, showing some good promise for those young guys.
Yeah, it does. And aside from Ensminger having 17, the points that were put in were relatively balanced. So if you covered one person, somebody else was going to hurt you.
Yeah, they shot really well tonight. There's not much you can do about that.
And so they just have to keep that up, and this could be a real fun season this year. I'm trying to get the attention of Coach Knoll. He's over there talking to family. And I'll be honest with you, Drew, they were much better looking than we are.
Yeah,
I can't blame him.
He's quite the superstar.
He's on his way up here now. And so
sorry about that, guys.
That's okay.
Family first, right? Family first.
Absolutely. Besides that, they're a whole lot better looking than we are. So I can't blame you for staying down there and talking with them.
Yeah.
Nice win tonight. That sure has got to feel a whole lot better than last week.
Yes, it does. I mean, it does feel a lot better, right? Either way, whether you win or lose, I say it all the time, I can't fall asleep. It doesn't matter, win or lose. But I am happy for the boys to have played well on the road, and to get to be 1-0 in conference. That's the most important thing. And, we knew some things that maybe Glenwood City was going to try tonight, but at the same time, you just never know. Right. Just like us, we threw a different defense that they haven't seen yet.
Well, and it sure looked to me like your boys the horses wanted to get out and run tonight.
Yeah, they were I wrote on the board the word energy about the size of me. Okay. Put it real nice and big. That's what we needed to play with tonight. Was just play with a lot of energy, and that was our focus tonight. Is just to get flying around, and we did it in a half-court setting. So we were able to press in the half courts.
I saw a lot of hands and bodies in the way of passes, denying passes. There were some amazing block shots that the Vikings came up with. I mean, they were just in the way of Glenwood City all the time, and that says a lot for your defense.
Appreciate it. Thank you. The kids played really hard. It was fun to watch. I know Drew probably misses that too, being out there watching tonight.
I sure do.
But Drew, I know you remember we played the same defense last year, and it's a fun defense to play. And Jack Charlo is a beast in the middle of that defense because he's getting tips and steals everywhere.
Yeah, it sure showed. In fact, Drew made a comment during the game that even though he's played that defense, he has no idea how to attack it.
Yeah, you really can't. There's not like an A to B to C that's going to beat it.
Okay.
You just really got to have good ball skills, passing, and moving the ball because it's a tough defense to go against.
Well, I'm going to show my age with this one. I'm going to put that one in the back of my Rolodex and keep an eye for that one because you're right. Teams have a hard time dealing with it. And
I tell my son, I love you every single day. I love you. Now, my dad has never said that to me. Not because he doesn't love me, but because culturally it wasn't comfortable for him. Now that he's a grandfather, he says, I love you to my son every time he sees him. My advice to all the fathers out there, forget the cultural restrictions. They grow up way too fast for you to waste even a single precious moment.
Being prepared is a part of who you are, but it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you'll go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you. Start your plan today. Go to ready.gov/myplan.
Well, I don't know how we lost the audio there for just a moment, but we got it back. And Coach, I guess we'll let you get back with your guys, and it's going to be a much nicer ride back to Colfax, even if the roads are a little slippery tonight.
I appreciate you guys doing this tonight, and I love that this man's over here too. Drew's helping out tonight. That's awesome, Rick. So thank you very much for doing that.
And I'll tell you what, I'm so appreciative of the people that I have helping me out. Dan is just getting over pneumonia, and he found the strength to come here because my camera person scheduled for tonight was exposed to COVID over the weekend and now has to isolate, and so Dan stepped up.
Thanks, Dan.
And then our play-by-play guy for the boys' games, Ethan, was sent home from work yesterday under the weather and texted me this morning, said he was not any better.
Wow.
So here comes Drew, and he's got exams tomorrow that he's got to deal with. So
I do. Wish me luck on my algebra for calculus exam.
All right, good luck with that.
So we've got a heck of a crew here, and I'm really proud of them, and we're having a lot of fun doing this. So thank you, Coach, for everything you do, too.
Thank you, guys.
And we'll have more Viking postgame right after this.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking Boys game. You can catch Colfax Vikings games by tuning in to any of the Northern Light Webcasting Network outlets. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.